I'm building a tiny teardrop camper from scratch, the Wander Tears Vaga. The goal is to get this rig ready for our family adventures in 2026. Welcome back to the build. For this episode, I'm going to make my countertop just like this. It's a tabletop epoxy from Total Boat, and I decided to embed some different Aspen leaves into here. Let me show you how I did this. So I'm going to do a new thing for me, tabletop epoxy. I got my countertop solution and we're just getting everything prepped for that. So this is the bottom. I'm going to flip it around to show the top and just kind of getting rid of these witness marks from the saw blade. But let me show you what I'm going to do with this thing. And that's it. Going to do a tabletop epoxy for my countertop. I couldn't find a good laminate, like a Formica, that I didn't have to buy in like a 10-foot piece. So I only needed 5 feet by 2 feet. To prep this, this is the bottom, but I want this edge right here, which is the face of the whole galley. I want that to be shown, so this is going to have the epoxy on it. So when the epoxy is going to end up dripping down, and I just put this tape here to keep it from really falling over. Then I can peel this tape off, and the epoxy should come with it. This is the bottom. This will be finished in Halicon, I think is how you say it, and that finish with the rest of the cabinets and the rest of the camper overall. All right, so got my chores done for the day, so I'm going to spend a little bit of time and see if I can't get this epoxy coat on the top of my countertop. So I've got this all set up with basically a form around the outside, just with some frog tape. I think this will be okay. It sticks pretty well. I'm not worried about getting epoxy on this side of the countertop, but I do want it on this side because this will be the forward-facing part of the whole countertop. I'm going to have that drip down here, and then underneath here I have some frog tape as well that I'll end up peeling off, and the rest of the epoxy should just come with that. After it cures, the drips will be on the tape and will just come right off. So let's give this a try. I've never done this before. I'm using Total Boat tabletop epoxy. This one, people were saying it's really good for bubble release and just for the clarity of it. So I'm going to do 2 coats. The first coat is going to be to seal this, and then I've got some, it's fall, or it's after fall, but I collected some Aspen leaves. So I'm going to embed some Aspen leaves, and I have one bluebell that I've flattened, that I pressed. And I'm going to put those inside of here and super glue them down into the epoxy, and then put another coat of epoxy on top. All right, well, I don't know if it was an issue or not, but I think I might have been mixing it too fast before. So the first batch is going to be used for our deck, because I think I beat a bunch of air into it. And I'm just going to make another batch with this. Not go quite so fast. Well, pretty successful first time. The gravity will definitely do its work and smooth this out the rest of the way. And I've got a few air bubbles that I'm going to pop here too. Well, this has cured overnight, probably 12 hours. And it's definitely hard enough where I can touch this. And it does still feel a little bit like I could scratch it. So It hasn't been 24 hours, and that's for light use, but now that we are this far along, I can go ahead and super glue some of my leaves in place. Some Aspen leaves, and mostly Aspen in here. I have one somewhere in here. I have one bluebell too. I'm gonna super glue those down to the surface and then re-pour another layer of epoxy. I did notice in some spots, I saw one like right here, there's like a dry spot almost where the epoxy started to get thick and some of it had soaked into the wood, I think. And then there's like this little divot. So I'm hoping that when I put the next layer on, a lot of these little imperfections will go away. There might have been some dust on here that kind of surfaced through. So we'll see how this comes out long term. And the next coat's on. I got the leaves embedded in. I think they look pretty cool. I had some weird things happening maybe just with the super glue that was going in. It kind of clouded up, like right here there's a little cloud. Just from I was gonna put a leaf there and I changed the position. I should have just kept it there. And then like on this bluebell, there's some little clouds coming through from the super glue, so maybe not the best idea. I did get it mostly hidden underneath everything, but well, I've been working on this for a few days and I've got like 4 coats of epoxy on here and it's coming out pretty good. There's a few spots that I'm bummed about, like right here you can see a little bit of the leaf coming through, and the worst one is here with this leaf. So I still need to put more coats on, but I've already got, oh man, like 1/8 of an inch of epoxy on here. This is kind of curved up right here, but there's a lot of epoxy and I don't want to build too much height onto this. So I'm going to call it for right now, install it, and I think what I'll end up doing is putting at least one more coat of epoxy on this part of the table once it's installed. And I'm also debating if I'm going to do some sanding, maybe sand this little lip down right here. But I can't remember for the tabletop epoxy if you can sand it beforehand. So I'm gonna look that up. We gotta make sure we stay safety first. Even the dog, he has his own earmuffs, although I'm not sure if he's really liking them or not. I have another pair too, maybe I'll try those. I haven't got the countertop in. And I will end up sanding this one more time and putting one last coat on it. All right, and the last thing to do for this video is to get the rest of these cabinets installed onto here. Then I'll be able to do some finishing and a bunch of other stuff.